Uh, this is not financial advice.
I don't know who you are, and I don't know what you want. But what I do have is a particular set of skills. I will find you, and when I do, you will buy Bitcoin.
Welcome to the Crypto Whack.
Welcome to the Crypto Whack Pack. This week we're going to talk about a few different things, but we're going to start with El Salvador updates. What's going on with El Salvador?
El Salvador. Lots of stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I saw a nice little article where they said that the president wouldn't have gotten things passed had he not brought the military in with him. And I thought, well, here comes the smear campaign.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm going to start with this dude. He's got some
Okay.
comments about I'll let you listen to this real quick, and I'll give you my opinion, and we'll rebuttal.
Okay.
Now, El Salvador made waves in the headlines in recent weeks by being the first country to introduce Bitcoin as legal tender. Now, you had tweeted about this. We're going to show your tweet in just a bit. But first, how would you interpret the news? You and I have spoken about Bitcoin before, and you had said that Bitcoin is not a currency. And you've listed many reasons as to why. You've listed many definitions of currencies, all of which Bitcoin has failed to meet. Does this news change your perception of Bitcoin as a currency at all?
It doesn't change my perception at all of Bitcoin. It does indicate that the president and the Congress who voted for adopting Bitcoin in El Salvador as legal tender are, in a word, stupid. They've entered the Hanke's Dictionary of Economic Stupidity. And the reason for that is El Salvador is one of the three Latin American countries that is officially dollarized. In other words, Panama, Ecuador, and El Salvador are the three, and they don't have a local currency. They use the US dollar. So they use the premier international currency in the world right now. So now they're adding on legal tender status for Bitcoin. And the reason for this is that dark forces clearly are behind this, and that is the criminal element. And the reason for that is that the criminal element wants to be able to get in and actually obtain real legal tender, greenbacks.
Yeah. So anyway, that's enough out of him. I could go on and on and on.
So
that fine gentleman was his name's Steve Hanke. In case you're all wondering, I don't know if you ever heard of him or not, but
Mr. Hanke.
oh, good Lord.
And what is Steve Hanke's specialty? What's his claim to fame?
Mr. Hanke. Mr. Hanke, Mr. Hanke.
I believe he was a Reagan era money guy, right?
Hey, you know more than I do.
I'm pretty sure that he's about 1,004 years old.
80, 88, 89, 90?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So
I'll let you know.
Professor of applied economics at Johns Hopkins University. That's what it said under his name. I think that's a big steaming pile of crap.
Mr. Steve Hanke is 78 years old. And he is what I want to highlight is he is also a currency and commodity trader. And I don't know Mr. Steve Hanke personally or anything like that, but I don't think he's ever had to deal with some of the issues that some of the people down there have had to. Did you know that the average person in El Salvador makes about $5 a day?
Yeah, I heard they also don't have a bank account.
Yeah, 77% of them are not don't have access to banks at all.
Right.
At all. And like he said, you got El Salvador and Panama and Paraguay are three main ones that are probably 90% certain that they're going to move forward with the same stuff that El Salvador did. And every one of them lean on the US dollar. And you have just in El Salvador alone that people don't know. A lot of people have traveled abroad and then work and then send payments home to El Salvador. And just in El Salvador alone, it's 20-something% is remittance. The total GDP is money from outside the country.
Holy
And
cow, really?
yeah, and they pay well over $1 billion a year just in remittance fees.
Wow.
So, like I
So,
said, I don't believe Steve Hanke's ever had to deal with the problems that these people. So,
Bitcoin is a game changer.
for me to be surprised or whatever that he doesn't understand or see things that way is, it doesn't surprise me.
Well, here's the thing. It's 78 years old. Like, I know 50-year-olds that don't get this and don't believe in this. At 78, like, he's just an old man saying old man things, and I'm sure he's got some wisdom, but at the same time, he doesn't understand what he's looking at either.
Well, I differ a little bit on that, because I do believe what you just said. There's a lot of fact in that. There's a lot of people that don't understand what the hell they're looking at. I believe that some of these people right here do believe, they do understand, and they see it as a threat, and then they are panicking, and you should be.
Yeah.
Because it is headed in a direction that there is no coming back from.
Right.
There is no coming back. This man's been involved with banking and currency and commodity trading his whole life, and why change something that doesn't, that's working for them right now? And he goes deeper into the corruption and how it's going to be used for illegal shit, and you know what I mean. And when they say illegal stuff, they probably, somebody bought a bag of dope or something like that.
Right.
That's their biggest problem. But here is an article I dug up from Corporate Compliance Insights, that banks worldwide amass 15 billion in fines just in the year 2020. Just the banks, and the U.S. bank accounts for about 73% of that. So if you want to launder money, work for a bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to do some dirty business, this is where it's done, and this is how it's. That's why they don't want. It's all about control, man, and they don't want to let go of power. They're gonna fight tooth and nail, no matter how it's frustrating. Have you ever heard of Sir Frederick Hayek before?
No, I have not.
No.
I don't think.
Well, he's got one of the. He was he's German, but I believe he was born in Austria and Hungary, and he is a very, very intelligent guy. He's got the Nobel Peace Prize for Economics and Science, and back in 1974, he passed away in 1992 at the age of 92. He was born in 1899 in Vienna, Hungary. And back in 1984, he had a quote. He was doing an interview with I think it's a BBC, and he had a very powerful quote. It really wraps up what's going on right now. And he said, talking about money, monetary, whatever. He says, "I don't believe we shall ever have good money again before we take the thing out of the hands of government." And he said, "We can't take it violently out of the hands of government. All we can do is, by some sly, roundabout way, introduce something that they can't stop."
This is it.
I mean, didn't you nail that on the head?
Yeah.
Back in 1984.
Yeah. Oddly enough.
I think some people like Mr. Steve Hanke, which, by the way, is going to be a new thing. I'm going to have an asshole of the week. Steve Hanke's our number one asshole right now. But I believe that these people see what's happening, and they can't do a damn thing about it, and it's pissed them off. And I think El Salvador is really, really, really important. It's really important that this goes smooth, and it's important that it works. They have a thing down in El Salvador that they've been doing for a while. It's called Bitcoin Beach. I recommend anybody look into that and check that out. They were kind of doing the same thing on a much smaller scale, just to see how how Lightning Network works, that people use, you know what I mean? Is it going to take forever? Is it not going to work? Is there going to be all kinds of fraud and stuff? The downfalls or the things that I see is the IMF and the larger, banking institutes are going to put pressure on them and try to squeeze them, make life horrible for these people. But on another side of it is the people that are uneducated about it. There's still a lot of people, even in El Salvador, that aren't educated about it.
Right.
And that leaves you vulnerable to be scammed. Like many of these YouTube videos, you send us a Bitcoin, we'll send you two. Nobody's ever going to do that. Nobody likes you that much,
Right.
So I hope that it goes really smooth, and I think the whole world is going to be watching them in the meantime.